The future of Smash Bros. Is a mystery right now. We're coming up on 8 years since Smash Ultimate, plus Sakurai just released his dream project of Kirby Air Riders. And now officially in year 2 of the Switch 2, we really don't know when to expect this game. I would guess relatively soon, within the next year or two, but who knows right now with these long development times. Regardless, people are itching to see what Nintendo's going to do with this new Smash, and what Sakurai's going to do to really change up this game. He's been saying for a while that if he was to do another Smash Bros. Game, it would probably be a lot smaller than the current one, bumping down the roster to a lot smaller one than we're used to. Now, personally, I think we all can agree that if Sakurai is going to indeed cut the roster down in half, then there has to be a compensation for that. The characters that are in the game and that do make the cut have to be the most detailed character movesets we've seen yet. This has led a lot of people to believe that the next Smash Bros. Game might very well be a soft reboot of sorts, kind of flipping the series on its head and changing some of the core things we love and know about it and adding some new things. Now, in my opinion, and what makes the most sense to me, is the characters. The characters make Smash Bros. Games. Sure, the side modes like Subspace Emissary are very important, and I really want to see an ambitious story mode with all these characters again, but the fighters are the main focus, and if Sakurai is indeed going to do a soft reboot of this game, I think that needs to involve all the characters. I've talked about this a million times. The movesets for the characters, or at least the main roster in these games, every single new installment, is pretty much untouched, and if it is, it's just like a grab is added or something, or a new taunt for Mario to throw Cappy out. These movesets are very basic and in my opinion do not reference the characters at all from their respective games. Outside of Mario's special moves, all of his other moves are pretty much just head tosses, punches, kicks, and yeah, that's about it. And as this doesn't translate to every character, a good chunk of them does in fact play like this. For instance, Donkey Kong is really just Big Gorilla that punches around and doesn't really have any references to past games outside of maybe his dash being a roll. I know there's not too much they can do with somebody like Fox, who's only been on the ground in a couple of games. They could definitely add some new moves though and get more creative than the same ones that we've been seeing him have for so many years. Samus has tons of new abilities from recent games like Dread and even Metroid Prime 4. Pit has tons of different weapons from literally one of the only games that people know him for is Kid Icarus Uprising, and you can say this with almost every mainline character that's been in Smash Bros. Since the beginning, like Link and shoot, even Ganondorf has one of the worst movesets in my opinion. Even though they gave him swords finally, he could be so much cooler based on recent installments like Tears of the Kingdom. Inklings only represent Splatoon 1, we have 2 more games with so many new weapons now, and even third-party characters that might return like Sonic. He's just spin, dash, and run fast, which, yeah, I know that's Sonic, but he does so much more in the games. You can literally just pull from Frontiers, where he's a true fighter in that game. My point is, I know they could truly do more if they just really put their minds to it. Some of these characters deserve an upgrade, and I was actually surprised when I post videos like this. A lot of people agree, but also a lot of people disagree for some reason. I don't know if it's for the fact that these characters have legacies that they must fulfill, meaning they can't change their movesets too much, or the Smash game wouldn't feel like a Smash game, so Mario must always have his Yee-Haw, and Donkey Kong must always have his array of punches. Now, to sum up exactly what I want from this Smash reboot with these characters is I just want every character to actually feel like their video game counterparts. Feel like they're pulling from vital parts of their movesets from past games to truly make them feel like who they're supposed to be. Donkey Kong has always been more than just a big monkey that punches, and thanks to Bonanza, he's gotten tons of moveset potential that could actually make him super unique. Same with Mario, he's more than just a guy that can fight with occasional moves like Fireball or Super Cape. He actually has so many games from Galaxy to Sunshine to even Odyssey that they could reference. Yes, I guess technically Flood is referenced, but it's a whack move, let's be honest. Now, the entire reason I wanted to make this video, and probably the reason you're here, is because of Hidden Machine on YouTube. I highly recommend that you go subscribe because, man, they put up some awesome animations, including something they call Crazy News Smash Brothers, where they pretty much take a character from Smash Brothers and show what they could look like if they were essentially a new DLC character. And these things are crazy. Now, they're meant to be over the top. Like, obviously, the characters' movesets, if they were changed and altered a bit to match past references of old games, it wouldn't be to this extent. Like, every single little move in his entire moveset is based off of something from a past game, from his tilts, jabs, and even his smash attacks. Now, like I said, this is an extreme idea of what I'm talking about, but essentially, this is what I'm talking about. What is Mario known for? His power-ups, his wacky items. put that as part of his moveset. Oh my gosh, I would absolutely love that, and watching this video just makes me realize how cool that would be over and over again. No, I don't think he needs a move where he chucks a GameCube over his head in order to spike you with a forward air. It's just the fact that there's so many really cool ideas in here. Like Mario being able to be a toxic Mario Maker creator and place Kaizo blocks that other players can hit. Or him able to use Cappy as an actual attack instead of just a silly taunt. There's a move where he's able to throw down various objects, like a mini Mario toy from Mario vs. Donkey Kong, or even the baby penguin from Mario 64, which if you touch, you're gonna be in trouble. Now, like I said, I will admit, a lot of this is over the top, and no, I don't think every single move, even tilts and jabs, need to reference something from Mario's past. But Mario has so many cool things in his history, I feel like it'd be so cool to reference those things. With less and less characters in the roster, you'll be able to really maximize how crazy each character's moveset can get. Like this final smash where Mario is able to fill Donkey Kong with star bits and even create a galaxy out of them. Imagine being able to create a new galaxy with every single character in the roster using your final smash, which is more manageable now because you only have around 30 to 40 fighters in this game. But Hidden Machine just uploaded another one with Donkey Kong, and somehow it gets even crazier. He turned Donkey Kong into possibly the most insane overpowered character ever. Once again, this is for humorous purposes, but still, oh my gosh, could you imagine if Nintendo treated their own IPs the way they did with Steve? Being able to break the stage thanks to Bonanza's new ability of allowing Donkey Kong to break terrain, pick it up, and throw it. There's moves where Donkey Kong uses some of his animal buddies like Rambi. If he does use punches, it's actually pulled from how he does it in the games, like the new Donkey Kong Country games. And Hidden Machine pretty much just goes throughout all the times Donkey Kong used random things from past games, like his giant mech from Mario vs. Donkey Kong, minecart from Country. Dude, even his climbing from King of Swings is referenced here. I mean, Donkey Kong loves bananas, and there's not a single banana as part of his moveset for some reason. Or why not being able to use certain enemies from a game or franchise that character appeared from? Now, of course, this gets a little off the rails where he's able to actually swap to a completely different character like Pokemon Trainer, like swap into Lanky, Tiny, Chunky, or Diddy from Donkey Kong 64, which would just be way too much going on. I mean, for crying out loud, Donkey Kong doesn't even really have any references to his original arcade version, where he originated from. And everything that you've seen so far didn't even include his brand new Donkey Kong Bonanza stuff, where he actually is given a rage meter in this video, allowing him to turn into his Kong Bonanza, but it also changes a lot of his attacks as well, including allowing him to use special attacks that changes his Bonanza form for that attack. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. For some reason, there's a group of people that think that this isn't the direction that the next Smash Bros. Should go in, which blows my mind. Why would you not want your characters in Smash Bros. To play like the characters where the games they come from actually play like this? Imagine a kid's first game or one of their first games is Donkey Kong Bonanza on the Switch 2, and they're coming off of Bonanza so hyped for Donkey Kong. They love Donkey Kong. He's such a cool character with so many cool moves, and then Smash Bros. Comes out and he's just dumbed down to Big Monkey now. I'm sorry, but this is literally my dream wish for the next Smash Bros. Game. I love seeing these wacky DLC characters that completely add new meta and new moves to the game, but they're never Nintendo first-party characters for the most part. I want to see that same effort like Steve had, and even Kazuya, dedicated to the main roster. But sometimes I see comments under my own videos about this, like this one from Hey Joe that states, I feel like going really hard on references could be a good thing for a select amount of characters, but I feel like making characters distinct without relying on just references will make a good Smash game. References are good, but they can definitely be over-relied on. This doesn't mean I don't think the old characters should get changes and overhaul. They definitely should. And as I get where they're coming from, I also kind of still disagree simply due to the fact that so many characters in the roster don't even use references for 50% or more of their attacks. I mean, if you just look at most brawlers or even the sword fighters, lots of their attacks can line up and match up the way they fight. Any sword fighter is going to have a very similar tilt, jab, or even smash attack with their sword swipes, and most fighters, or people that don't really have special weapons like Mario that's a brawler, is going to use punches and kicks to get across with their jabs and tilts. It's a lot of the same things spread across this entire roster. So honestly, I really would not mind if even every single little move down to even the last tilt and taunt was a reference to a past game. Because right now, it just feels like I'm playing as a different variant of this character, which actually might be true according to the lore of how these characters work. They're statues of the real counterparts, but still, I want to feel like I'm playing with the actual counterpart, you know what I mean? And like I said, if Sakurai does decide to cut out half of this roster, which he should, he has to have a good way to make up for it, because you can't have half the fighters of Ultimate and not have anything change with them. Even if he decided to dedicate all of his time to a new story mode like Subspace, he still has to make these characters feel distinct again, especially since it's been multiple years of the same fighters with the same movesets. I'm tired of Big Dragon Bowser or Big Monkey Donkey Kong. I want them to actually feel like the Bowsers and Donkey Kongs I grew up playing as a kid. Ganondorf is way more than just big heavy punches and basic sword swings. Shoot, I would even make a new Smash Bros. Specific Link, so that way you can give him any item from any past game that you want. I mean, why not? Koei Tecmo was allowed to do it for Hyrule Warriors, so who are they to tell Sakurai no? Look, I know I'm getting myself a little excited for the next Smash, but I really do see it being something like this, even if it's to a lesser extent. Obviously, these videos from Hidden Machine are really over the top and meant to be for content purposes, so a lot of that stuff is a little extra. But still, I think a lot of these things in the video are truly amazing, and it gets me even more excited for the next Smash and what it could be like. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. Are you still on team keep the movesets the same, or do you want a massive overhaul to these characters and what makes this roster so fun in the first place? I hope you guys all have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.